How's everyone doing? With the Royal Rumble coming up later this month, I thought I'd do a video on my favorite Royal Rumble of all time, the 1992 Royal Rumble. And for those of you who don't remember what the 1992 Royal Rumble, or who won the 1992 Royal Rumble, that is the one that Ric Flair won. This Royal Rumble was just booked perfectly from beginning to end. And I'm not sure if any other Royal Rumble had the amount of talent that was in the 1992 Royal Rumble. Look at all of the future Hall of Famers or borderline Hall of Famers that competed in the 1992 Royal Rumbles. You had a young Shawn Michaels, even though he was not a main eventer at the time, but still, he had just started his singles career. You had Shawn Michaels, you had Ric Flair, you had Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker, Macho Man Randy Savage, Sergeant Slaughter, Sid Justice, the British Bulldog, Roddy Piper, Ted DiBiase. The 1992 Royal Rumble had so much talent, and it was a unique Royal Rumble because it was the only Royal Rumble where the winner of the Royal Rumble match itself automatically became the WWE champion right on the spot. Because if you can remember, the WWE title was vacant at the time because of what happened in December of 1991. Now, back at the Tuesday in Texas pay-per-view in 1991, Hulk Hogan beat The Undertaker by throwing ashes from The Undertaker's urn into The Undertaker's eyes. And the president of the WWE at the time, Jack Tunney, saw this. So he decided to strip Hulk Hogan of the WWE title and put the WWE title on the line in the Royal Rumble match itself. And that was truly a unique idea. It hasn't been done since. And that's one of the reasons that the 1992 Royal Rumble stands out from all of the others. And also with the great booking of how everybody entered the Royal Rumble, how they got eliminated, the storylines that were told in the Royal Rumble were awesome. Now, the favorites to win the 1992 Royal Rumble were Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, The Undertaker, Sid Justice, the Macho Man Randy Savage, and even the newly crowned Intercontinental Champion, Roddy Piper. The biggest heels in the 1992 Royal Rumble. Look at the heels in this Royal Rumble. Some of the greatest heels of all time. The Undertaker. Even though The Undertaker spent most of his career as a face, there's no denying he was one of the greatest heels of all time when he was a heel. You had The Undertaker, awesome heel. Ric Flair, the Million Dollar Man Ted DiBiase, Jake the Snake Roberts. All of these awesome heels competed in the Royal Rumble 1992. Some of the biggest faces in the 1992 Royal Rumble were Hulk Hogan, the Macho Man Randy Savage, Sid, Roddy Piper, even the British Bulldog and the Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich, former NWA World Champion, were the biggest faces, I'd say, in the 1992 Royal Rumble. And like I just said, I loved the booking. Now, the British Bulldog drew number one, and the Million Dollar Man Ted DiBiase drew number two. So right off the bat, you had the British Bulldog, who was extremely popular in the WWE, start off the match with Ted DiBiase, one of the greatest heels of all time. And Ted DiBiase got eliminated so quickly. He threw the Bulldog over the top ropes, thinking that he eliminated him, but Bulldog held on, came back in. Ted DiBiase turned around, and he got clotheslined over the top rope. So right there, one of the biggest heels in pro wrestling, the Million Dollar Man, got eliminated right at the start of the 1992 Royal Rumble. You knew that anything could happen in this Royal Rumble, and anything almost did. Ric Flair came out number three, and Bobby the Brain Heenan almost wanted to kill himself because he knew in the back of his mind that there was no way that Ric Flair was going to win this Royal Rumble, because back then you didn't draw numbers 1 through 5 and stay all the way till the end of the Royal Rumble. Even Gorilla Monsoon kept pointing that out to Bobby Heenan during the program, and Bobby Heenan kept telling him to shut up. Because, Ric Flair drew number three. Nobody in their right mind thought that Ric Flair could last that long in the ring. Even though back in the NWA, Ric Flair was known to have 1 hour matches or even 90-minute matches back in the NWA. But in WWE, none of the fans expected Flair to draw number three and last all the way to the end. And Flair gave an awesome effort. The ring got cleared at about after the number 14 entrant came in. Everybody had gotten eliminated up until that point. So Ric Flair was the last man in the ring after number 14 entered. and he was relieved. And then number 15 came out, and it was one of his biggest enemies of all time, Rowdy Roddy Piper. And Bobby Heenan was like, oh no. And then Ric Flair, you should see the camera shot that they took of Ric Flair. Ric Flair, you could see it in his face. He was like, oh no, I can't believe that Roddy Piper is the next guy coming out. And Roddy Piper came out at number 15, and he kicked Ric Flair's butt, all over the place for 2 minutes. By the way, I have how everybody entered the Royal Rumble in the description box right over there. Hold on a second. And Roddy Piper put the sleeper hold on Ric Flair, and that's how he had won the Intercontinental title earlier in the night. So he's going to put Ric Flair to sleep, and then, well, I don't know how you pick up somebody's limp body and attempt to throw them over. So I'm not sure if that was the best idea. But he had the sleeper hold on Ric Flair. Now, one of the biggest heels of all time, Jake the Snake Roberts, comes out at number 16. And, nobody could trust Jake the Snake. And Piper just turned his head for a second, and that quickly, Jake slithered up and attacked Roddy Piper. And then Ric Flair, Jake the Snake Roberts' fellow heel, is thinking, well, Jake the Snake is in the Royal Rumble now. He's going to help me get a breather, and the two of us are going to attack Roddy Piper. Ric Flair thought he could trust Jake the Snake, but you cannot trust the Snake. Jake the Snake helped Ric Flair up, then gave him a short clothesline. And the crowd went nuts, because back then, you didn't see heels versus heels. The only time you really got to see that was in the Royal Rumble. That's one of the reasons why people love the Royal Rumble so much. You could see a heel versus a heel in that match. Now we see it a little bit more now as the years have gone by, where heels are getting into confrontations, like the last video I did. But it was so unique for two heels to fight each other in the Royal Rumble back in 1992. And then Hacksaw Jim Duggan came in at number 17, and say what you want about Duggan, he was extremely over with the crowd. And after Duggan came in, he helped Piper, and the two of them took on Jake the Snake and Ric Flair. And the ring gradually got filled back up. Then starting with numbers 20 through 30, some of the heavy hitters in the WWE started to come out. Now, The Undertaker got the pick from number 20 through 30, and he got a bad break because he got the worst number he could have possibly get from the choices he had. He got number 20. But look at all these heavy hitters that came in from number 20 through 29. The Undertaker came in at number 20, former WWE Champion. Macho Man came in at number 21, former WWE Champion at the time. Hulk Hogan came in at number 26, obviously a former WWE Champion. Sergeant Slaughter, former WWE Champion, came in at number 28. And Sid Justice, even though Sid hadn't won the WWE title at that point, he came in at number 29. He was hugely over. Some people even argue that Sid might have been even more popular with the fans than Hulk Hogan at that point. So a lot of major guys came in from number 20 through 29. And The Undertaker came in, immediately eliminated Jimmy Snuka, and then he went after Ric Flair and put a stranglehold on him. And the crowd went nuts because The Undertaker and Flair had teamed up to take the title from Hulk Hogan about a month and a half earlier. So now Undertaker went after Flair. So it was truly a great thing to see the two major heels going after each other like that. Then the Macho Man came in at 21, and his storyline with Jake the Snake Roberts played out. As soon as Savage came out, Jake the Snake slid to the side of the ring because he was hiding from Macho Man Randy Savage. But eventually he came back in when somebody, in fact it was The Undertaker, who attacked Randy Savage. Jake the Snake came back in. But eventually Macho Man got the upper hand and eliminated Jake the Snake Roberts. So a great storyline there between Savage and Jake, who were in a major feud at the time. So that storyline played out. Then you had Hulk Hogan come in at number 26, and the crowd went absolutely nuts. Some of the other heels tried to attack him like 3-on-1 because they knew this is Hulk Hogan. We got to get him the hell out of here. Like the Berserker, the Undertaker, and I think IRS attacked Hulk Hogan as soon as he came in. But Hulk Hogan got the upper hand and clotheslined the Undertaker out of the ring. And then about 10 seconds later, he backdropped the Berserker out of the ring. The crowd went absolutely nuts. Sid came in at number 29. He got a huge pop. And as the Royal Rumble went along, the last few guys in there were like Roddy Piper, IRS, Sid, Flair, and Macho Man Randy Savage. Sid eliminated Piper and IRS because they were holding on to each other, and Sid just came from behind and threw all of them over. And then Sid tried to eliminate Macho Man Randy Savage, but he couldn't get him over. But Ric Flair came from behind and gave Sid a knee to the back with that momentum, pushed Savage over the ring. So it was just Hogan, Sid, and Flair. And you guys pretty much know how this match already ended. Sid laid back while Hogan went after Flair. Hogan knocked Flair over the top rope, but Flair was just barely holding on, and Hogan started to stomp Ric Flair's hands. And Flair would look like he was about to go out, but then Sid just said, you know what, let me get rid of Hulk Hogan. He came back from behind Hulk Hogan, grabbed him, and threw him over the top rope. Hulk Hogan was eliminated. Then Hulk Hogan showed some poor sportsmanship. He was like, you know, I thought it was going to be you and me. You know, we're both faces. We should have teamed up to eliminate Ric Flair. But then Sid was like, you could see on his face, the camera showed him, he's like, it's every man for himself, big boy. And then all of a sudden, you didn't actually see when Hogan immediately grabbed Sid, but you just saw the camera, and then Sid fell forward. Then they showed a shot of Hogan holding Sid, and Hogan eventually kept tugging at Sid to pull him out. Ric Flair came from behind and dumped Sid out. Him and Hogan eliminated Sid, and Ric Flair was your new WWE Champion by winning the 1992 Royal Rumble. A truly awesome Royal Rumble. After the Royal Rumble, Sid and Hogan got into it, which would eventually lead to Sid Justice turning heel, even though Hulk Hogan was in the wrong for pulling him out. So, 1992 Royal Rumble was just awesome. It was just awesomely booked. And let me know what your favorite Royal Rumble was. And I will talk to you guys later. Peace.